Ollie, this was your coming out party game and for your return back to the Premiership. An absolute great performance this evening.
Yeah, overall a really good performance, both in possession of the ball, attacking, defending, bit between the teeth, extra little bit of nastiness in us tonight, winning all second balls. So overall, yeah, a pretty good performance.
Do you think though that with the performances that you've had this season, that you haven't had particularly the amount of points on the board that you should have, and now tonight you've proven that with the goals that you finally got the points that you deserved?
Well, I always find that it's nearly the first goal is really important in this division. Our performances so far, bar Shamrock Rovers last week, performances in all the other games were pretty good. I don't think we have the amount of points to reflect that the performances that we've had. But what we can concentrate on is the performance. The result comes. So performance was good again tonight, and at least we got the result out of it.
Of course, the people are going to say it was a bit difficult to play on the pitch this evening. Obviously, you wanted to play on better pitches with the car, but you want to have a carpet on the pitch, all right? But what do you think of the style of the pitch this evening? And hopefully, you do want to see improvements on the pitch for future games.
Of course you do. If any team hurts most, it hurts us. It's not if we had a direct style of play and we played in the clouds. Well, then I wouldn't be giving it too much. But the one thing that we need is a good playing surface, and it's not entirely up to scratch at the moment. But it hurts us most than other teams. So if anybody wants it better, it's us.
And finally, obviously, a difficult period run of games coming up, and also obviously a lot of your students are going to be doing exams around this period as well. How are you going to cope with that with all the tough games coming forward?
Probably very badly. It's going to be tough for us, especially with such a small squad. We struggled last year in the first division during this period, but it's tough. It really is tough because it's the mental aspects on the players, because they're up all night studying all the time. So it's more mental exhaustion than anything else. It's a tough part, but we'll just do the best we can.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tough night at the office. What do you think went wrong tonight?
Well, look, we started well. Okay, and then they scored, supposed to get some run of play, but then the period we got back to 2-1, but did a period where they dominated, and I suppose once they got the third goal in the second half, it was game over. So it's a tough night. They played really well.
Yeah, what did you think of the conditions, especially the pitch before you came on? It looks as though it was very difficult to play on.
Well, look, there's 2 rugby matches on the pitch yesterday. It's not good enough at this level. I don't know what the reasons are for U.C.D having that. And no, I'm not knocking, say, Collie O'Neill and that. I'm sure he doesn't want the pitch to play like that, but this level in the country, highest level in the country, can't be playing on that. That's
true, and it's been a criticism of certain pitches around the country as well. How do you think that can get improved over kind of season going on?
Well, look, I suppose the weather changes now, and the pitches we played on haven't been too bad. So that hasn't really been a complaint. That one there isn't acceptable for the standard we're at. But I'm not going to blame the pitch on that.
And also then, of course, the one game you probably didn't want to play after such a difficult defeat today, Shamrock Rovers next week. How are you going to try and pick up the players for that tough game out in Tala?
Maybe it's the one we do want to play after playing that, so we've nothing to lose going to Tala to play against them, and for sure we need to be better than we were tonight to get anything out of it, but we'll go and have a go at it.
Cheers.
Conor, you must be absolutely delighted with that result.
Yeah, chuffed. Small bit of relief as well. I think the last couple of weeks, and same message been coming out of the camp. We're playing well. We're waiting for it to click. Rovers last week, even I thought we held our own, and we've been due a good win. I think Waterford were probably slightly unlucky in the sense that they caught us on the night where everything seemed to go our way. Even throughout the year, we probably a couple of decisions didn't go our way, as with every team. Tonight we got the penalty, got us off to a good start, and I think we never looked back. Even when the goal went in, the ball stayed on the deck, kept that composure, and we managed to knock a couple in.
Then obviously you took a 2-goal lead, and then obviously when Waterford scored, were you a little bit worried because they were maybe sensing a little bit of blood before the break?
Yeah, I think it's always the way when you're comfortable and you're popping the ball around, and could have had another goal, a couple of half chances. And in fairness to Aaron Drynan, he's done really well for their goal. They haven't really carved us open much throughout the game. He's just gotten the ball dribbling at us and caused a bit of havoc. But again, there was maybe 5 seconds of oh no, and then I think everyone kind of stuck their chest out, the ball back on the deck, and we were lucky not to go 3 or 4-1 up in a half time, because we really got the ball rolling, and they might have smelled the blood, but we didn't give them much to sniff. We didn't give them any chances after the goal, I think, and we can be very proud of it.
Yeah, and look, obviously, straight after the break, Richie O'Farrell scores a great header. How important in terms of, I suppose, kicking on for the second half was that moment?
Well, I think they've made the double substitution. I think they've made big changes. It's a statement. They're trying to lift the tempo of the game. They want to kind of get stuck into it straight from the off, and then we go and get a goal 2 minutes in, and it just deflates them. I think Richie's showed excellent desire to get in the end of the ball, and Gaz, who was phenomenal tonight as he has been all season, probably puts the ball on the play for him as well. So it's nice when everything seems to click, even with set pieces, you know, the free kick off the crossbar, the little touches in around the edge of the box. Everything kind of came together tonight, and it's pleasing.
Yeah, and I suppose obviously the performances have been there. You know, maybe the results haven't been. Maybe that you have the performance and the result. Is that something that you are we going to look and use for motivation next week against Derry?
I think we were it was that cliche of being the young U.C.D team in the league, and I think everyone kind of feels we're the pretty team, but we don't have that bit between our teeth. We don't have that little bit of grit to go and grind the game out, and I think we showed that we do tonight. We can't get ahead of ourselves, no question about that. We're still in the scrap at the bottom, but it's a nice stepping stone. And I think when you have, again, like I said, the flair, the bit of quality, but the bit of gut and desire to go and grab the 3 points is pleasing.
Yeah, and look, obviously before I let you go, you know, probably officially you finished your first round of games. Maybe obviously you didn't play Cork yet, but have you found maybe the transition from the First Division to Premier Division? You know, there's a bit of a step up as you probably imagined, or as you probably experienced in the last few weeks.
Yeah, well, I think we knew it was coming, and I think every team, especially the Derry game, was obviously the standout one. We were a little bit, the wind was kind of taken out of our sails. We came up with a bit of optimism, and maybe it was kind of put us back in our place. But I don't think we've been out of our depth. I mean, we haven't gotten the points, but we really haven't looked out of place in a lot of games. Even to take the Bows game, which people might have looked like a comfortable result, Bows don't create a lot of chances. They scored 2 crackers. So today, we've actually gone out again. We've showed that we've learned our lessons over the last couple of weeks, and we showed a bit of maturity. Going forward now, it's kind of like I saw something interesting where we've already lost more games this season than we did last season, and it's now showing that we've lost the games, but we have it in us to go and win it. We're not going to lie down. We're not going to take the losses. We're going to go out and try and right the wrongs. You know, 5 away games in the first round, or 4 away games to the likes of Dundalk and Rovers and Derry and Sligo. It's not easy. It's no team wants that, you know, and it happens to fall our way. But we have them at home now, and we've only lost 1 game here, so hopefully we can push on with that.
Perfect. Thanks.
Brilliant start for you. You 1-0 up after a couple of minutes, and then 2-0 up at half time. But the second half just seemed to fall apart for you, man.
Well, look, when you have a player sent off, you know, unfortunately, you know, we 4 centre halves and one was sent off and the other 2 were out injured. So, you know, for the centre half to go off so early in the game, it kind of changed the whole makeup of the game, you know.
You played some great football though at times in the first half, didn't you?
Yeah, there was no point in playing great football and week in and week out and then giving away that amount of goals in the second half, and fairly good, you know. We shouldn't be doing that, you know.
Darren Meenan picked up an injury. Any word on it, Darren?
Darren's gone to hospital in the ambulance there at half time, so I'd say his shoulder's out or something, so hopefully we'll have a bit more news later.
And what's your take on the sending off?
Horrendous, absolutely horrendous. Question the yellow card, and the first yellow card, and then the second yellow card was soft, and you know, like I look at other things that happened on the pitch, and you're just looking for consistency, you know.
Well, next up, that's 3 defeats in a row now after a bright enough start, but so we have to try bounce back against Cabinteely now next week.
Yeah, look again, you know, you have to dust this down. There's no point in dwelling on this, and you just get back into training on Monday and prepare for Cabinteely.
It's a very close league though so far at the moment. There's not much in it between the teams, the top 5 or 6 teams, 7 teams, so hopefully you can keep going anyway.
Look, as I said, we take 1 game at a time, and I hope it's a dear lesson for some of the players in there to, you know, not be able to see out the game even with 10 men, you know, to get back into it even when they scored from Evan White's you know, fantastic goal from the corner, and we then just, you know, conceded 2 goals straight away near enough after it, you know.
Okay, thank you very much, and
thanks.
A good win for you after a poor first half.
Yeah, it was a great win. The first half, how it went a bit, it didn't go great personally as well. I thought I should have had 2 goals in the bag, but we got in at half time, and Tim Clancy and Kev gave us a bit of a like a bollocking maybe, and got us going again, and we went out and great attitude from the lads who got the goals, and the main thing is the 3 points. That's it.
So that's another win for you. That's 3 in a row, so you're going well at the moment.
Yeah, going well at the moment. Yeah, 3 in a row, so it's all going good so far. Fair play, credit to the lads, like they put in a good shift out there, and they're always like that, training games no matter what they put it in. So fair play to them.
So you must be happy with your hat trick after.
Yeah, I'm happy enough. I was out for 5 or 6 months of the season last year, so I'm only back. Chris Lyons got injured in training there during the week, so I wouldn't wish that anyone. Just what it comes around, like, so I got my chance, and hopefully I'll stay in the team now.
And of course, next up for you is a tricky tie against Shelburne, which won't be too easy.
Yeah, Shelburne away. It's not an easy place to go, Tolka Park, but we'll go there with the same attitude we did as we came here, and hopefully come away with 3 points as well. Very well.
Harry must be delighted to get back to winning ways after 5 games without a win.
Yeah, we're thrilled. We had been playing reasonably well up to now without getting any luck, but we certainly got a bit of luck tonight with the goal. But I thought we earned the luck that we got because we worked very hard, and overall I thought we deserved to win.
You said in your pre-match notes coming into this game, if we can just cut out the little mistakes that have been costing the last few games, we get back to the right way. It was clear as ever that you had got rid of them tonight, and you managed to keep quiet the likes of Patrick Hoban and Michael Duffy, their main threats tonight.
Yeah, it's very difficult to keep. There's a lot of good players, Duffy and Hoban, as you mentioned, Daniel Kelly up the top. They're all pacey, good players, and they were in a decent run of form, and we were in a thorough bit of form. But as I said earlier, we worked really hard. We changed the shape of the team coming into the match, and it worked quite well for us. But I can't praise the lads enough tonight because their work rate was second to none, and we got a bit of a break with the goal.
I know you won't want to single out any players or any areas of the pitch, but the midfield battle is so crucial how a game determines, and you certainly won that well tonight. Like Connor Clifford, Jamie Lennon were excellent tonight, and of course man of the match Rhys McCabe.
I didn't think there was any man in the match tonight, though. I was absolutely delighted. I was seeing a bit of Chris Forrester certainly come back to a little bit of form, played very well off Gary Shaw. Gary worked tirelessly, hasn't had much football this season. He worked tirelessly up the top. The lads at the back did really, really well to keep them out. So overall I think it was a really, really good team performance.
Of course you're out Mickey Drennan through suspension tonight. You also missed Dean Clark and Brandon Media through injury as well tonight. Any possibility they're going to feature away to Cork next week?
Brandon possibly will. Dean was suffering from a bit of concussion. He should be okay as well, but Mikey suspended now for the next 2 games, so we'll miss him. But we lost our 3 attacking players from the Bowls game for tonight's game, so that's why we had to mix it up.
And looking ahead now, that game against Cork, it kickstarts a difficult run of games in 2 games in 4 days. That way trip to Cork, then followed by a rearranged fixture here against Derry on Monday week.
Yeah, we look forward to that now. We get a little bit of confidence from tonight, but there's no point in beating Dundalk and going on losing to Cork and then losing to Derry. We got to try and get a bit of a run going the way we did at the start of the season and try and get up that table.
John, must be disappointing to find and lose your unbeaten run this season.
Yeah, we're very disappointed. You know, you've got to give Pats credit. They played well on the night. They set up well. They changed their shape. We were maybe just a little bit flat in the night, but listen, we've a brilliant dressing room, a great squad of players. We certainly won't be panicking. You know, over the result, we'll have a look at the video the weekend. We'll reassess, find out maybe ways where we can improve things, and push on to Sligo next Friday.
You did finish the game quite strong, create a lot of chances and really impose yourself in the last 20 minutes or so. Do you feel that's one area you need to look at, as if maybe the first 75 minutes it was a little bit too kind of passive?
I don't know until I look at the video. You've got to give them credit. They pressed us very, very hard, and they had a good defensive shape about them, made it hard for us. So you've got to give St. Pat's full credit. They've a good squad of players. They've probably been punching below their weight a little bit this season. They've been disappointed with the results, but we took them with great respect. We knew what they were capable of. We've got to focus on ourselves, not worry about anybody else. That's what we'll do. Hopefully get a few bodies back in the next couple of weeks. It's a busy period. We've a double weekend next weekend. So that's what our focus at the moment.
There's probably a little bit of sense of deja vu tonight, given that you were here only a couple of days ago for the EA Sports Cup. Okay, a number of players that were playing that night weren't playing tonight, but you feel sometimes maybe it can be a little bit hard to beat a team twice in the space of 5 days, and Pats might have maybe had that little bit of motivation tonight.
I don't know. We made 10 changes there was 10 changes on Monday. 10 of them, there's 10 players there tonight that didn't play on Monday, so we thought we might have had a little bit more freshness about us. They 5 or 6 fellas that played them on Monday, so it goes to show you it doesn't matter 2 games in 5 days. Familiarity doesn't really mean anything. You've just got to be careful. You've just got to, we can't concede a goal like we conceded. It was a poor goal to concede. The timing of it was poor. The way we defended it was poor. And you're always going to give yourself a mountain to climb when you do that. But I thought in the second half we gave it a right go. As you said, last 15 minutes we were probably unlucky maybe not to possibly get an equaliser. But again, we look at ourselves. Could we have done better? Yes, we could as a group. We know that, and that's what we'll be focusing on this week in training.
I know you don't want to look at the officials kind of side of things too much, but you feel maybe the rugby green didn't quite go the way. There was a couple of heavy tackles in that second half. Conor Clifford and Gary Shaw that went unnoticed, and easily could have had 2 penalties in the second half, particularly that time when it was just over 5 minutes ago when Georgie Kelly went down.
Listen, again, I didn't really see the penalty incident. I'm not one for blaming officials, and in fairness to the dressing room we don't have a blame culture in that dressing room. We look at ourselves. We don't blame officials. We don't blame conditions. We look at what we could do better. So no, we've got to maybe take our chances when they do come, but we can't fault the effort or the endeavour that the lads showed tonight. We know we're areas that we know we could have improved on. That's what we'll be looking to improve this week in training, and we'll focus on Sligo and Bohemians next week. But the first game is Sligo next Friday down in Sligo. It's a big game for us. We've got to show now that we've got bounce back ability, which I think we have. We've got great character in the dressing room, so it's a game we'll look forward to. We're disappointed. We'll get that disappointment out of our system over the weekend and focus on next Friday.
You mentioned double game week next weekend. Away to Sligo on Friday night, reverse fixture from the opening night, and then that rearranged home game against Bohemians. Perfect, ideal opportunity to bounce back after this defeat is to get a couple of points again on the board.
Yeah, and that's what we'll be focusing. That'll be our sole focus this week. The Sligo game first. The Bohs game will look after itself. We'll get the disappointment out of our system over the weekend. We'll have a look at areas that we feel we can do better on, and we'll get down to Sligo in good fettle. I mean, it's a bad night at the opposite tonight, but we've had many more good ones this season so far. We certainly won't be panicking.
Long ways to go indeed. John, thanks very much for joining us, Stephen.